Hello everyone, welcome to the MetaMagics channel, your one-stop shop for almost completely accurate D&D information. Seriously, without my comment section, I don't know where I would be right now. In the last couple videos, I talked about the new races and subclasses that are in the new Mythic Odysseys of Theros book that just came out yesterday. If you have not seen those videos, go check them out. I will leave a link right up here for you guys to go check those out. But in those videos, I did make a few mistakes, such as calling some of the races that were not actually new races, as well as the Centaur and Minotaur did have some slight changes to what I said. There were some slightly incorrect information given there. I pinned a comment down below in that video, so be sure to go check that out. But this time we will be covering the new magic items introduced in Theros. So without any further delay, let's jump right into it. Now, as I should have probably stated in an earlier video, these are just my first impressions, having not read this material at all. My reactions, I don't know how necessarily good or bad these are right off the bat. I can just take a guess on how good these all are. I should have mentioned that in the races and classes video. But regardless, we're going to get started right away with the new magic items. And to start, they have an origins table based on how magic items were created, which is very neat. We can go right to the first item, the Flying Chariots, a rare item that creatures being pulled by it gain +1 bonus to their AC. They are considered mounted, and being mounted on this chariot grants you half cover. The chariot speed is equal to the slowest creature pulling it, which is likely a draft horse or something similar, so not too slow. And if multiple creatures are pulling the chariot, they all act on the same initiative count and must take the same action on their turn. Next up, we have the Helm of the Gods, a rare item that requires attunement. While wearing this item, you know where there is a celestial or fiend within 30 feet of you, as well as where the creature is located, provided it is not behind total cover. Whenever you finish a long rest while wearing the helm, you can pray to one of the gods listed below right here, and store the listed spell in the helm, replacing any spell that is already stored there. The save DC for the spell is 13. The helm has 3 charges. To cast a spell, you must use 1 charge and gains 1d3 charges daily at dawn. So you basically get a nice little Swiss Army knife of casting right here. Everything from Identify to what best spell in the game again, Guiding Bolt, in my opinion, as well as good utility spells like Good Berry, burst damage like Thunderous Smite, Sanctuary. This is literally, as I said, a Swiss Army knife of spells you get in a rare helmet. So this is very nice. You get to cast this. You get to cast 1 spell 3 times a day from this and can change it per rest. So this is a very utilitarian magic item. I am a big fan of this one. Next up, we have Molten Bronze Skin. It is a breastplate, half plate, or plate that is rare. This magical armor appears as a jug of molten bronze. When you attune to it, the bronze adheres and contours to your skin. The armor can be worn under normal clothes, but does not impede bodily functions. Once you put it on, it cannot be removed unless you choose to do so. You cannot have your armor forcefully taken from you for whatever that's worth. While wearing the armor, you have resistance to fire damage and does not impose disadvantage on stealth checks, which is the crux of all heavy armors, so that is very nice. Next up, we have the Potion of Aqueous Form, which is rare. When you drink this potion, you transform into a pool of water. You return to your true form after 10 minutes, or if you are incapacitated or die. While under the potion's effect, you have liquid movement. You can swim for 30 feet, can move over or through other liquids, and can enter and occupy the space of another creature. Can rise up to your normal height and pass through even tiny openings. You extinguish non-magical flames in any space you enter. You also get resistance to non-magical damage and have advantage on strength, dexterity, and constitution saving throws. I don't really know how that works, but okay. And you cannot talk, cast spells, attack, or activate any other magic items. Any objects you were carrying or wearing meld into your new form and are inaccessible, though you continue to be affected by anything you're wearing, such as armors, for your AC bonuses. This seems nice. I don't really understand the advantage on these physical checks, as you seem to be quite weak in this state, but seems pretty good anyway. Next up, we have the Pyxis of Pandemonium. Our first legendary item does not require attunement. A creature that touches this ornate wooden vessel for 1 minute gains the benefits of a short rest. That creature also gains the effects of the Bless spell, listed right here, until the creature finishes a short or long rest. So a Bless spell for a very long period of time. This is very interesting. The creature cannot gain these benefits until it finishes another long rest, though. If the vessel is opened, roll on the Pyxis of Pandemonium table to determine what happens. Any spells cast by the vessel have a spell save DC of 17. 1 minute after the vessel is opened, it disappears. It reappears sealed in a random location on the same plane of existence 24 hours later. So likely one use of this per campaign, unless your DM's really nice. However, the item is cursed. Any creature that gains the benefit of a short rest from the vessel hears cloying telepathic whispers emanating from it. That creature must make a DC 17 wisdom save. On a failed save, the creature is charmed by the vessel for 1 hour. The charmed creature does everything it can do to open the vessel as soon as possible. On a successful save, the creature is immune to the effects for 24 hours. And the table that you roll in immediately after opening this is right here, starting at 1, Androphagia. Each creature within 60 feet of the vessel must succeed on a DC 17 wisdom save or go berserk for 1 minute. The berserk creature must use the attack action to make one melee attack or ranged attack its choice against the creature closest to it. The berserk creature can repeat the save at the end of the turn, ending itself. The berserk creature can repeat the saving throw at the end of its turn, ending the effect on itself on a success. Very interesting. Next up, there's Bile Blight. The vessel casts harm on every creature within 30 feet of it. That's really dangerous. Next up, there's Flood, which casts Tsunami at a point of the DM's choice within 120 feet of it. Medusa's Gaze. The vessel casts Flesh to Stone on every creature within 30 feet. The vessel casts Maze on each creature within 30 feet. Nightmare. Tendrils of shadow seep from the vessel and form into 1d4 shadow demons right here. So not necessarily as bad as something like a tsunami or a harm spell, but could still be proven very dangerous, which appear in an unoccupied space within 30 feet of it and are hostile. Swarming insects to cast Insect Plague centered on itself and within a radius of 30 feet. An Unbridled Revel to cast Otto's Irresistible Dance on every creature within 30 feet of it. Now, I'm not sure if this affects the person who touched the crate. I imagine it does, but if so, this is a really high risk, high reward item, as hitting yourself with any of these, almost all of these spells, could be very dangerous. However, it is a legendary artifact. You probably don't get this until you can tank most of these spells, but still very flavorful, very dangerous. I love RNG, so very fun item that I will definitely be including in my home game. Next up, we have the Siren Song Lyre, a rare item that requires attunement. You can use an action to play this lyre and cast one of the following spells from it: Animal Friendship, Charm Person, Enthrall, or Suggestion. If the spell requires a saving throw, the DC is 13. Once the instrument has been used to cast a spell, it cannot be used to cast that spell again until the next dawn. So 4 casts of this magic item per rest. Is this good? The spells are kind of weak. They're only 1st and 2nd level. I believe Suggestion is 2nd level right here. Yes, it is indeed 2nd level. They're very utilitarian spells, granted, so I do think this is a pretty good item. Next up, we have the Sling Bullets of Althamon, a weapon sling bullet that is very rare. The sling bullets come in a pouch which contain 1d4 plus 4 bullets. Roll on the magic sling bullets table for each bullet to determine its property. You have +2 to attack and damage with the bullets. If the bullet misses, the bullet teleports back into the pouch. Once a bullet hits a target, the bullet loses its magic. So for the magical effects table for the bullets, Banishment. The creature that takes damage from this bullet must succeed on a DC 15 Charisma saving throw or be banished as if it was hit by the banishment spell, which you can see right here. Sends another creature to a different plane for a minute. Now, interestingly enough, I'm not sure if this follows under the same rules of concentration, since it's technically not you casting the spell, but the item casting the spell. I would really hope that there's some clarification on this in the future, as this could very well affect how powerful this is specifically. Fulguration. On a hit, this bullet deals an extra 2d8 lightning damage to its target. All other creatures within 10 feet of the target must succeed on a DC 15 Constitution save or take 1d8 thunder damage. So an area of effect lightning blast with a magic bullet. Very cool. Stunning. On a hit, this bullet deals 1d10 force damage and the target is stunned. A very powerful effect on this one. And tracking. A creature that takes damage from this bullet is marked with a glowing rune where the bullet hit. The mark lasts 24 hours. While the creature is marked, you always know where the direction to it. A very nice tracking item too. So the way this item is worded, I can't tell if you have to roll for it as you pull the bullets out to shoot them, or if you roll for all of them beforehand. It seems like you'd roll for all of them, you'd roll for the amount, and then you would roll for them beforehand, so you could pick and choose which bullet you want to take out based on what you rolled. I feel like that's what this item is trying to do. If that is the case, then this item is very, very powerful, being able to banish a creature, most likely not having to hold concentration on it. The AoE thunder damage is probably honestly the weakest one here because stunning a creature is a very powerful and broken effect in 5e. Tracking is nice. It's probably between tracking or fulguration that are the weakest, honestly, based on the scenario you're in. But anyway, let's move on to the next item, which is the sling that you would shoot this from. The 2 birds sling. You have a +1 bonus to attack and damage limit with this weapon. It is rare. When you make a ranged attack with the sling and hit a target, you can cause the ammunition to ricochet toward a second target within 10 feet of the first, and then make a ranged attack against the second target. So you could use your magic bullets twice per round if you use this sling and have both of them at the same time. So this makes this item way better. But guys, that is going to do it for the new magic items introduced in Mythic Odysseys of Theros. However, this is not all of the actual magic items, as there is a new subsection of magic items known as artifacts that have to do with an entirely new system introduced in Theros known as the Piety system. So I'm going to save that for a different video, as this will take a much longer time to go through, and I want to make sure I get all of the information out accurately and in a much more concise video, because I've been wrong on a couple things in the last couple videos and I don't want to make that mistake again. So we will be covering the artifact weapons in the next video coming out either really soon after this one or tomorrow. We shall see. Anyway, guys, that is it for the magic items. So until next time, happy gaming.